gonna try to figure out what that was. I think it was just my Wi-Fi cutting out, but we'll see. Maybe it was just a technical difficulty with everything. But my phone like kind of froze for like a good like 30 seconds. But yeah, we'll wait for people to get in. Yeah, I just think my laptop's barely working. I think it's just the Wi-Fi. You kept clicking. Yeah, I can't even. It doesn't even show me like a history of it. Wait, it says I'm live. It's so weird. Okay, I'm gonna. Yeah, it says this one's still live, which is weird. I don't know how. I'm so confused right now. Let's see if I can delete this and then. Okay, that might do it. Yeah, I couldn't like I was on my own channel and I couldn't see if I was live or not. Like I don't get it, but we'll just go with this one. But yeah, hopefully there's no more technical difficulties. Um, that was very weird. But how's everything, Fluffy Kitty? What's the lesson of the day? The lesson of the day is don't trust technology. Don't rely on technology because it's inherently gonna mess up. I feel like that's a pretty good lesson. Um, you know, I don't know when things are supposed to work, they just decide not to. That's the lesson. Um, but yeah, how's everything with you? I don't think I've been streaming lately, so literally be. I don't see. I'm not like concerned with AI like other people are because I mean the thing about AI is it's programmed by people and it has restrictions by people. So I think it's a lot dumber than it should be. What's up, positive? Yeah, the programmer is the one calling the shots. I don't know if this is like my experience. I think someone said that they nerfed it, but 3 years ago you'd go on ChatGPT and it was giving you good answers, and now it can't answer you. It like will give you like error. I can't answer this. I can't do this. Like it instead of just like giving you the answer, instead of just like assuming what you want, it like objects to like the framing of the question. It's like I can't do this. I can't do that. It's very weird, and it someone said that it was simply because you have to pay for the upgraded version. But I just think that like they're making AI stupider, like trying to put controls on it, trying to make it political in a sense, and it's very weird. You know what I mean? What's up, I am Flora? How's everything? Maybe people were using it to cheat in classes. I mean, the thing is, you AI is just it. All it does is it searches the internet, gets the information, and then relays it to you faster than you could get it. So it's like if you really wanted to cheat in class, you could cheat in class. Like it just makes it easier. It's not like it does anything that you know you couldn't do it yourself. It's not like it finds the information that you couldn't find. maybe it pieces it together, maybe it synthesizes it way faster, but I don't think it's like anything that would shock you. Like, you're telling me that when you read something that's AI generated, you can tell. Like, I can tell instantly. It's so boring. It's so straightforward. It's so rigid in its structure. It's like it's very obvious. I don't know why you'd ever write a paper using AI, because you can tell. You can tell when it's AI generated. It's it's like corporate speak, like 101. You know what I mean? Like when you're in a meeting and the corporation is telling you about, oh, you need to do this, you need to, like it literally just reads like AI. It's the least humanic thing ever. Your AI. All right, well, that's interesting. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I like think I'm like talking to AI people. Please buy a Bible. I think I have two on me. I have one right here though. Does that help you out? I have one right in front of me. Is that what you wanted me to do? This message was generated by an AI. No, I mean, I figured AI wouldn't be that creative or that funny. That's the thing about it. Not the Ten Commandments. I went on what is it? What's Twitter's AI called? It's like Grok or something. I hope I said that right. I was talking philosophy with it, and it just doesn't know. It just doesn't know any philosophy. Like it gives you like the generic points, and it doesn't give you the heart of it. Like I was talking about Nietzsche, and it didn't understand what Nietzsche was all about. So I don't think I'm not afraid that my job is gonna get taken by AI. I'm not afraid that like I'm not gonna be able to get a job. What's up, X before YZ? How's everything? Mole AI. There's like way too many AIs that just have like the most random names nowadays. It seems like everybody and their mother has an AI. Don't forget W. Yeah. We winners around here. W's in chat, yeah. Worst part about AI, you reason with it only to get addicted to it. What do you mean by that? Yeah, it's taped to the wall. Dude, the things that came with it just didn't stick at all. And it's like, I'm either not gonna have it or I'm gonna tape it to the wall, you know what I mean? That's how Skynet's gonna win. Skynet's not gonna win, dude. They couldn't even win in the fucking movies. How are they gonna win in real life? You know what I mean? Um, I'm not as much concerned with AI as I am concerned with like algorithms and how they affect human consciousness. You know what I mean? Think of people's opinions and think of how easily they're shaped by what they see, um, and think how that's usually the end of all thought. You know what I mean? Like when someone sees something on either news station, maybe it's Twitter, maybe it's TikTok. Like I don't know where people get their news, but that's usually the end of the thought. Like that's not how it should be, and that's what I think is more scary than robots walking around. I think it's like the not even control of information, because there doesn't have to be control in information. It's just what is most readily available. Okay, that's the accepted narrative. Okay, that's what we believe. I hope they discover RoboCop mechanics. I'm pretty sure they will at some point. It's just like, what's the benefit of that? You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather just die than be a robot. Like, what's a life if you're not a human anymore? What's a life if you can't experience like being a human being? You know what I mean? Like I don't envy those people in the movies. I don't envy the people that are like turned into machines. You think man could replicate human consciousness? I don't think so. I think consciousness is so far beyond our comprehension that it will never be replicated. And even if it is quote unquote replicated, it'll never be the same thing as consciousness. It'll be something that is very similar, but it can never reach the depths. Like think of this, like why do riots start? Like I think this is the best explanation of consciousness. Like riots start because someone is protesting and then another person throws a chair and then the entire group just all collectively synchronize and everyone starts being violent. Like there's just something to like the herd or the crowd mentality that like when you're in a group of people, like something takes over you and you don't act like yourself, you act like the group. Like you can't replicate that idea. You can't replicate that with any program. I think these are so far beyond their comprehension that it's you know what I mean? I mean, maybe it could convert a brain to a flash device, but I don't think it wouldn't be the same. It'd be something new. Every AI photo slash video making company. Why do you want them to add a watermark? All the AI generated photos are terrible. I think you could replicate like the analytical side of consciousness. You could replicate like the pattern recognition side of consciousness, but you can never replicate the creative side of consciousness, like the Nikola Teslas or the Edisons or the Einsteins or any great inventor, any great poet, any great thinker. You know, they're not like seeing what other people are doing and replicating that. They're creating in their whole separate category. They're doing their whole thing. Like it's just something completely different. I don't think you can ever replicate that. That's way far beyond anything a computer could do. Imagine having to reprint someone. Yeah, that's crazy. It's not getting us fooled by AI, it's our parents. I mean, the thing about AI, like, everyone's like scared of being replaced. Most people will be replaced, but that's not to say that you will be. If you have something that can't be replicated, like if you have soft skills, if you can, you know, go into a business meeting and strike a deal, if you can, through your personal connections, get some sort of benefit to your company, like that's always going to be something that can never be replicated by a cold machine. And I think we need to start cultivating these softer skills instead of cultivating the technical skills. I think technical skills are important to a certain extent, like being able to utilize the tools that AI has now. Like, I mean, you know, in it as a lawyer, like they're now using discovery AI. So they're just sifting through vast amounts of information to find the stuff that they need, which is like a really good benefit because now you don't have to spend all of the money on paralegals and all the money on legal research. So people are actually getting better representation and they're getting it for cheaper. You know, it's the same thing with a lot of these data input jobs. They're just getting replaced by AI, and it opens up room for, you know, people to actually be doing stuff with their brains instead of just mindlessly clicking away. Do I remember you? Yeah, I remember you from like 5 minutes ago from when my screen cut out. Like it wasn't, you're saying it like it was a long time ago. We aren't on a simulation. I mean, like, you can conceptualize this world as a simulation, but I think it's, like, I don't know if it's the best analogy because then it becomes like a video game. I think what we see is very much influenced by our own consciousness and our own imprints and the things that we've experienced. I think one of the best ways to put it is Robert Anton Wilson says, "What the thinker thinks, the prover proves." So basically, what you choose to see, you'll see more of. And there's so much stimulus around us that like our own thoughts influence how we observe things. So just certain element, it could be seen as a simulation, it could be seen as a false realm. Um, I mean, if you look into Kabbalah, there's the idea that we're in the fourth world and we're, we were once at one density, now we're at a lower density. You know, even there's some elements in the Bible that say this as well. Like you can theorize about these things all day. I think it's something that we'll never be able to actually put our finger on. Do you think human memory is copyable? Yeah, probably human memory. It doesn't seem like something that's very complex. So yeah, what do you do for a living? Don't worry about it. But I don't think memory is like the greatest capacity of humanity. I think memory is very limiting because memory establishes a pattern. And once you establish a pattern, then you establish like a set guideline. So like if you've got success in the past, then you're forced to be successful in the future. This is a good thing if you're successful, but if you're not successful, like you've been a failure up until now, and you're going to continue to be a failure because you have those set patterns, you have those set memory loops, you have those set thought loops that have been influenced through all your experiences. So it's like, I think memory almost is not utilized in the right way. I think it's something that people dwell on, and it limits them and it hinders them, and it doesn't allow for like exponential jumps like the works of Tesla, the works of Einstein. Like, Einstein was theorizing stuff that we're really just confirming nowadays. Like, and he just had these ideas in his head, and like he had no way to prove them, but he knew they were right. And it's like, where does that come from aside from just thinking outside the box? There's a train next to you. I don't know if it's a train. It might be a trolley. I don't know the actual definition, so we'll leave it for interpretation. That thing's so fucking loud though. It's crazy how loud it is. Yeah, interesting conversation to say the least. I think consciousness is something that the more we accept it's beyond our understanding, the more we can discover about it. There used to be like this is like the difference between new philosophy, new science, and old science. Um, the Greeks, the Egyptians, the Romans, all of these older thoughts, like all these older theories. I guess the Romans really didn't do anything; they just took the Greek thoughts, but the Greek thinkers and the Greek philosophers. But um, the old science, the old philosophy was to expand the conception of the universe and understand that some things were beyond our comprehension, and like there was a reverence for this fact. Where nowadays I think it's, if we can't explain it, it doesn't exist. If we can't explain phenomena such as like um, ghosts and demons and like people seeing you, like instead of like theorizing about these things, instead of like even trying to study these things, we just deny these things and call these people crazy. But it's like I like there has to be something to it if people have had these experiences for thousands of years. There has to be like, so, like, you know what I mean? It's like there's not the inquisitive mindset. There's not the scientific method taken to things that are beyond our comprehension. Instead of like looking into these things and seeing what we can grasp and taking them into the real world, instead of doing any of these things, we just like push them off and say they're like fringe theories. Remember Tronable I do remember what those are. I have a funny story for the woods to tell. So what? I'm listening because denial is the easiest way. I mean, there's the weird notion today that like if there's not scientific proof of it, like it can't be accepted. And I think this is something that doesn't really make sense to me because every single great work in history was based off of faith. I mean, you look at the Sistine Chapel, like you realize that was divinely inspired. You realize that like Michelangelo was trying to paint the representation of God in his mind. And it's like works like that only come from belief in something beyond reason. And like when we give into this idea of faith, this idea of hope, this is where some of the greatest moments of human history have came from. It just doesn't make sense to me why we don't embrace this element. Yeah, I don't. I mean, again, the thinking that I have is more. It's more of like a poet though. This was a realization that was coming into my head today. Like the reason why I can understand these things because I'm not so rigid about it. It's because I'm poetic about it. It's because in the meaninglessness there's meaning. In the emptiness there's something. That's how I view things. Whereas people need a rigid structure, a rigid belief system to get the meaning. Yeah, I mean, if you look at most of the great minds, they're not like matter of fact people. They have rational elements to their heads, but they don't rely on it. They realize that there's stuff outside of it, and they realize that however rational you are, however understanding you are, like there are things beyond your comprehension. There are things that you simply can never observe because, I mean, think about it. Like our senses are just receptors. They're just tools. They're just ways to observe the world, and there's no such thing as a sensor that can pick up everything. There's no such thing as a tool that can measure every element of every stimulus that you give to it. Like, a speedometer doesn't really measure the speed. If a cop car is driving while they're, you know, measuring your speed, it's going to be a different speed because that's just how physics work. Like there's no such thing as a perfect tool, and because of this, like, you had people like Tesla who just would have visions of inventions and write them down and then they would work. Like that's just it. When you look into examples like this, you just have to give more credit to it. I'm scared to sink deeper into your thoughts. I mean, my thoughts really aren't that deep. They're pretty shallow, but I mean, it's just a matter of perspective. I think true creative genius is just when you calm your mind down and what comes to your head is usually the best solution. Like how many times have you been working on a project and you for whatever reason you can't seem to get it done, for whatever reason, like you just can't put your mind to it, just nothing works. You go up, you do some laundry, you go up, you do the dishes, you go do something, and then it just clicks. Like there's something to be said about like when our mind relaxes, that's when the best answer comes. That's when our intuition starts to actually start to work and actually starts to work for us. I think like this is like really like one of the greatest breakthroughs that I've ever realized. Like the smartest answer comes from when you're not thinking. The more you try to think, the further away it will be. The more you try to force something, the less authentic it will become. Like whenever you try to force something into the world, it's not going to be there. It's not going to come. It's just nothing in the world works that way. If you're trying to force someone to love you, they're not going to love you. This is what parents don't understand. This is why parents will push their kids to do this, push their kids to do this. And it's really just out of love. It's really just, I see this a lot. I see all this potential in my kid. And I really think that if they put their mind to it, they could be great. But like, how many relationships have been broken up because of this idea? You know, how many times have you wanted someone to love you so bad that you drive them away? It's very, it's very like yin yang, and it's the more you start to accept this idea, the more you start to accept that like any sort of force is going to create the opposite result. I think that's a lot of the solutions to life is there. You're clicking, you speak like you're spiritually guided. I don't like to think that. I think, you know, if it's spiritually guided, it's my spirit. It's not anything outside of me. And I think everyone has access to this thing. It's just you need to listen to this voice. Like everyone has this authentic voice. It's just, are you willing to listen to it? Are you willing to sit with yourself and understand it and understand where it's guiding you? Um, it's like an internal compass, and the more you can calm down the thoughts in your mind, the more you can access this idea. I think that's really a breakthrough that when you do a lot of soul searching, when you do a lot of meditation, when you calm your mind down and stop worrying about everything external, you can worry about the internal. The internal solutions are always the best ones. You know what I mean? Like for most of my life, I thought I'd be happy when I get material success. I'd be happy when I'm viewed by other people in a certain light, when certain people respect me in a certain manner. But the truth is, you know, I'm only gonna be happy when I view myself in that manner. I'm only gonna be happy when I view myself as someone that's worthy of my own respect. Like whatever people think about me does not fucking matter. Whatever I think about you does not matter. The only thing that matters is how you view yourself. Do you wake up every single day and do something that you love? Do you wake up and you can just look at your life and go, wow, I'm blessed? If you can say those things, there's nothing else in the world that you need. There's nothing else that you need to seek externally because you're good internally. As above, so below. As within, so without. Like it's been said for thousands of years. It's right in front of you. And like people are like, I'll be happy when I have this job. I'll be happy when I reach my goals. I need this X amount of dollars before I can feel myself as a success. Like, feel yourself as a success right now. Everything else follows. Become the person you want to be, and everything else follows. It's very weird to me how like we seek externally what we need internally. I mean, who was it? Plato said, "Know thyself." I feel like a star. I feel like everyone is a star in their own way. Um, Everyone has great qualities about themselves. It's just, are you willing to express them? Are you afraid to have the world see your true self? I think that's really what it comes down to. Like we all have unique gifts. We all have something to offer the world, but so few people express these thoughts, express these sides of themselves because they're afraid that if they open themselves up, then they are vulnerable to an attack. I'm so intelligent. I'm not intelligent. I don't think these are intelligent statements. You know what I mean? I think these are intuitive statements. These aren't things that you don't already know. It's just you haven't thought them. Like that's the thing when you read a great philosopher. You're not reading an idea that you've never understood. You're reading an idea that is conceptualized in a way that you can understand finally. Like it's an inkling you always had, but for whatever reason you couldn't put your thumb on it. You couldn't spit it out. It was on the tip of your tongue your entire life, and it finally just hit. I literally feel like my brain is been fed nutrients talking to you. Well, thank you for that. I mean, again, I'm not saying anything that is very complex. Yeah, just one human. Where you been? Dude, my other stream just cut out, and like I couldn't end it. Like it wasn't ending. It said I was still live. Um, it was just weird. I think it was just technical difficulty. But yeah, I've been here for like 30 minutes and you haven't joined, so that's crazy. Should I end it since just one human just got here? You went to the park? Yeah, sure. Damn, Hypnaudio. First super chat ever. That's crazy. That's actually so weird. That's so weird to see. That's actually so cool. Thank you so much, Audio. Damn. Ah, that's like, I don't think you understand how happy that just made me to see. Like, that's that's so cool. That's so cool. It's weird. Like, I don't know. I got the notification the other day that like I like hit the watch time and then like everything was approved and I was just like, am I living in a dream? Am I living in a fantasy? Like, it's something that I've like worked on for so long and like when you finally see results, it just like you think it's gonna be a big thing. You think like you're gonna like jump up and celebrate, but like it was just like I was like, man, like I'm really doing something. Like something's really coming. It's pretty cool. But yeah, thank you so much, Hypnodio. Thank you so much, dude. Like that's dude. Like I don't know what to say aside from thank you. That's it's just so cool. It's just so cool. I got the day off from school for having a panic attack. I mean, okay, the only reason I laughed, that seems so mean. The only reason I laughed is because I literally, like, whenever I'm burnt out, I just email my professors and I'm like, I'm having a panic attack. I'm not coming into class. But, yeah, that sucks. I mean, whenever I have, like, I don't think I have, like, full-fledged panic attacks anymore. I used to when I was younger. But I think it's, like, um, I think it's always, like, when your life's at a crossroads. I think it's when you're going on a path that you don't like and it's a time to do some soul searching and figure out what you want to do, figure out the place that you want to go and the decisions that you're going to start making to get yourself there because you know it's easy to say like, oh, one day I'll be this, one day I'll be that, but like if you're not making decisions right now to get there, then you're never going to get there. And I think that's like such a fundamental thing that I don't know. I was when I was in high school, when I was in college, like I would have panic attacks all the time. I was like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I just relax? And it's because I was trying to live my life trying to be someone else. I was trying to live my life in a manner that if I continued would never make me happy. And it was almost like a internal recognition. It was almost like a warning from my mind telling me like, dude, we're freaking out because you can't live like this. You can't do this. Yeah, yeah, that's true. I mean, 95% of stress it definitely is caused by other people. And the thing about stress caused by other people is like it's only stress if you allow it to be. It's only stress if you allow it to get to you. That's a lot of the things. Yeah, it's because of your teacher. What did your teacher do to you? Dude, the sad thing about teachers is we've all had like a handful of teachers that have like directly impacted our lives. Like have like I don't know about you guys, but like I've had a few teachers that like I wouldn't say are like role models, but like I definitely look up to. I definitely like say like these people were people that had a huge impact on me, and these people are people that like I'll forever cherish, like having experienced like what they've taught me. Like not even so much the lessons, like the curriculum, but more so like the way they approach learning, the way they approach certain situations, and the way they tried to inspire others to learn. Like that's something that always stuck with me. And then like the other 90% of teachers are just like don't give a fuck about you, don't care about you, they don't even want you to go to the bathroom when you have to go to the bathroom. Like it's like it's so sad how like education should be something that's inspirational when we have the least inspirational people teaching people. That's what I don't like about education, you know what I mean? One of your teachers gives you chocolate every Wednesday. All right. Do they give you chocolate out of a van? My favorite teacher became a superintendent. Damn, that must be so cool. Have you talked to the teachers that like really influenced you? I'm so bad about like I don't know because I know if I reached out to these teachers they'd be like ecstatic to talk to me, but like I also like I'm the type of person if I haven't talked to you in a while, like I don't want to bother you. I don't want to be like, oh man, like I've like really appreciated the time. Like you know what I mean? Because like I don't know, I'm weird about that kind of stuff. But there's definitely a few teachers that I have to reach out to and update them on what I'm doing. Maybe I'll do that at some point soon. I graduated 15 years ago. I haven't yet. I wanted to give myself to go. It's fun. Nadia, I feel like you're gonna appreciate this. So my roommate in college, so his mom taught at my elementary school, but she wasn't there when I was there. But my first grade teacher, like 2 years ago, still remembered who I was. I must have been a menace. I must have been like I don't remember what I did in first grade, but like I must have been so poorly behaved. Like I can only imagine like I'm poorly behaved now. I can only imagine when I was a child, like and like I don't know about you guys, but like I when I'm in class, when I'm in any sort of group, like I don't ask questions because like I just had that like inquisitive, curious mindset beaten out of me. Like I never had my questions answered, so now I gave up on the idea. But like I must have just questioned everything. I must have asked a million questions. I must have been so just annoying and so just like I wouldn't even say disrespectful, but like I must have just been so much of a smart ass. Like I can only imagine. Like I feel bad for anyone who had to deal with me as a child because like I can barely control my impulses now. Like he performs concerts. What are you talking about? Is it the teacher? I'm trying to think of other shit I did as a kid. Oh, I there's like there's definitely something I did that was like just encapsulates me so much. I'm trying to think. There was like there was a when I was 4, my cousin told me kicking. What? I think that's bad luck. If you kick like a gypsy, I think you're gonna get your whole bloodline cursed. Like, I don't think that's really. I mean, to each their own, I guess. Um, when I was younger, like we would like throw stuff into the garbage can as like the lunch ladies would pass things through. And one time, I'm just such an idiot. I swear, like this is one of the dumbest things I've done to this day. The lunch lady was like 20 feet away, and I threw a sandwich out, and it literally just hit her straight in the chest, and I got sent straight to the principal's office. And my defense was like, "Oh, I thought I could make it," and I got in so much trouble for that. I don't. It really wasn't like intentional though. They thought I was like doing it intentionally. Like I just threw a sandwich at everybody. I was like, I genuinely just thought I could make it in the trash can. I don't know why they got so mad at it. Like, I swear it wasn't like vindictive. It wasn't evil. Like, I don't. I just had a bad rap. I just had a bad rap. Damn, I just broke this. Hope my girlfriend's not watching. I just broke one of her gifts she got me. Okay. I need to private this stream so she can't see me just break this thing. Guys, don't tell her. Don't tell it. Can't mention it. We can't mention it. There was another time. This is not gonna sound real, but like I think this was middle school. My friend, like we like stole. I didn't do anything. I was just a witness. This. I was just a witness. This. They like took his books from him, and like as he was trying to get it back, he like reached out and like his like the agenda's like, oh book with like a spiral. Like the agendas had like the spiral thing, like it like got like stuck on his finger, and he like grabbed it, and like as he like pulled his hand back like aggressively, like it flung and hit like one of the. It was like it wasn't even the real lunch lady. It was like the substitute. It hit the substitute in the face. Our entire table had to go to the principal's office, and like it was just so funny that we couldn't stop laughing, and we're all just looking at each other in the office like just like how did that even happen, and we're just all like just giggling, and they said that the next person that laughs gets detention, and we all laughed the instant. It's just like it was just too funny, and we're all just like giggling. Like I feel so bad for that guy because it must have been so embarrassing, but like it was just so like the circumstances that led up to that were just so fantastical that like you can't just not laugh at it. It was too goofy. I remember when I would get in trouble in school though, I'd be like so um I'd be like so like sad about it. I'd be like, oh, this is like the most important thing ever. And like now I look back and I was like, none of that meant anything. Like nobody knows the havoc I caused in class. Nobody's gonna care. Like it's funny to see like when you put things in perspective, like how little your childhood affects who you become, and like you could just get over it and forget about it. It's kind of funny when you think about it. It sounds like a great time. I don't know. I did not have a good time in school. I still don't like school. I think school is like, I mean, to me, it's just a means to an end. It's not something that I feel like I really learn anything from. I feel like the vast majority of the information I have in my brain was not from school. It was all stuff I taught myself in like the past like year or so. Like I've legit only been reading books like religiously for like a year. Put that in perspective. Like if anyone believes that like it takes a while to get um, any sort of grasp of these concepts, it doesn't take a long time. It literally just takes dedicated effort and actually putting your mind to something and just putting in the hours. You know what I mean? It's like the first time I read a book by Jung, I didn't understand it, but now I've read like 10. Now I've read other people's interpretations of it. Like things just start to click and things just start to make sense. And once you see, we'll use the Miyamoto Musashi quote. Once you learn the way you see it in all things, once you learn a concept, you see its parallels in other concepts. Like I'm reading a Nietzsche book right now. A lot of the stuff Nietzsche's talking about would further be described by, you know, consciousness researchers through the 60s, through Robert Anton Wilson, Terence McKenna, through Timothy Leary. Like the ideas that Nietzsche was theorizing in the late 19th century are just ideas that are like accepted now. Your school smelled like weed a lot? Yeah, I mean, that's just school, dude. Like, what are you talking about? I agree, school has to be exciting. Yeah, I mean, that's like the best part about my channel is I try to keep it light. I try to keep things fun. Um, I mean, when you understand that like these ideas aren't that complex and you understand that these ideas are like transformational, I think it just makes it so much more approachable. Like some of my greatest insights don't come from the actual source material, they come from someone interpreting something. Like when I read the Tao Te Ching, it didn't make any fucking sense to me. But then you read Osho break it down, then you read Alan Watts break it down, then you hear people talk about it, then you start reading poetry and it starts clicking. Like Tao Te Ching is not something that you'll understand if you have a very rational worldview, if you have a very rational way of approaching problems and approaching situations. It's only going to make sense when you start embracing your poetic side. Your sister called you a naked mole rat. I mean, is she wrong? To be honest, just one human, I like your sister better than you. I feel like your sister is much better behaved. You know, I feel like when you're at a restaurant, your sister definitely puts the iPad down, whereas you just put it like right here, and you just like play Skibbity Toilet all full blast. Like, I don't know, man. I'm skeptical of you. I'm very skeptical of you. Excuse me, egg. Yeah, just for that, I'm gonna end the stream. What time is it though? One. I actually go. I actually have to go do stuff. I might stream again later. To be honest, I know you guys are getting a lot of me today. You do a great job keeping it exciting because you're really smart. Again, I don't think I'm smart. You get lost sometimes. It's not that complicated. Okay, when I say it's not that complicated, it's probably, if you don't understand it, it's probably because I'm using a bad analogy. The thing about complex issues is if you get really good at metaphors, if you get really good at similes, you can see the analogies in different things. You can see how certain scenarios are analogous to another scenario. And when you start thinking in that sense, everything just clicks. It's just a matter of seeing things in enough different ways that you see the bigger picture. You know what I mean? Like if you want to get a bird's eye view of something and you don't have like a weather balloon to see it, like you're gonna have to piece together everyone's individual experiences. That's the best way of thinking about it. You're literally airheaded sometimes. So am I, dude. When I'm not on camera, I'm the dumbest person you'll meet. I have like 2 hours a day of like high functioning intuition, and then the rest of that, I'm like one of the dumbest people you meet, and like I'm very like difficult to deal with sometimes. So it's like what you see on camera is not really me. I need to say that because like a certain thing comes out of me, like a certain performative nature, a certain creativity, a certain boost of energy that I don't have the rest of the day. You know what I mean? It's very, not to say that it's like a performance, not to say that it's a character, but it's very performative. You know what I mean? Like I'm playing up to the camera. I'm bringing out a side of myself that's not really there most of the day. And certain elements of it is that I'm comfortable on camera. Like certain elements of it, like I'm not gonna be this person in public because one, most people don't deserve this side of myself, and two, like even if I'm trying to talk about these ideas, most people don't care enough. And like it's one thing to like seek out my channel and want to like learn this kind of information, like want to explore these kind of ideas, but like the vast majority of people are so wrapped up in their own lives and are like such haters that like if I start talking about these things with my friends, like they're gonna be like, yeah, just see me as the person I used to be, not really like not really even be interested in what I have to say. They just see me as the person that like, you know, I used to be when I was a kid. And it's like, you know what I mean? People want to see you how they want to see you. Like people don't want to see you evolve. For the most part, like the friends you have will simply change because like most people want to see you do good but not better than them. And the moment you start to I wouldn't say I've really elevated above anyone, but like maybe intellectually like I'm just a different person and I've like so far exceeded who I used to be that like people would rather see me as something that I'm not. People would rather see me as, you know, crazy. Why do you read these books? Why do you read old philosophy? Why do you read religious texts? Why do you do this? Why do you do that? And like people think that like the stuff I'm reading is like insane, but it's literally just the greatest minds throughout history. I don't read anything French. I don't really read anything that like isn't well respected, isn't well cited, isn't it's just, you know what I mean? Like I just go to the real source. You're different, man, and shiny. Thank you, Kenny. Thank you. Are those real friends if they started hating because of your elevation? Yeah, no, they're not real friends. That's the thing you realize. The thing you realize is that the people that stick with you through your growth, the people that stick with you through your journey are your real friends. And like I thought I had so many friends, but the truth is I only have a handful. And that's a good thing. Like it's a good thing to only have a few friends because that means you could develop that relationship that much deeper. If I have 2,000 friends, how deep can that relationship be? Whereas if I have 4 or 5 friends that like really mean the world to me, dude, we can like basically become like brothers. We can basically become like, you know, like a clan. Like we could like, you know, go into business together. We could do this together. Like, you know what I mean? I only have so much energy. I can only spread my time so thin where it just becomes surface level. And that's really the point of it. It's like as you continue to grow, you're going to become a different person, and the people that stick with you through your growth and also grow are the people you want to keep around. Your cat is trying to jump out the window. Damn. I can literally count my friends on my fingers. Well, I would be able to do the same thing, but I can't count. No, I would have to agree with that though. I think that's just like a natural stage of growth. That's a natural stage of evolution. And, you know, the more honest you are with yourself, the more honest you are with like the people you keep around you. And like, are you really friends with these people, or are these just people you go out with on the weekends? Are these just people in a similar scenario to you, and you wouldn't even hang out with them if you weren't doing that same thing? You know what I mean? Like I have a bunch of people that you know, I talk to at jujitsu that like I don't want to go out to a bar with. I don't want to hang out with outside of that context. Don't get me wrong, there are people that I do want to hang out with outside of a jiu-jitsu context, but like there's people that are only in your life because they do similar things to you, and there's also people in your life because they were meant to be in your life. And it's knowing that distinction, cultivating those relationships that are really worthwhile, that are really meaningful. You know what I mean? You made me think of Naruto. I mean, aren't you basically part of the clan already? You're like a mod, you know, you're here forever. Like it's, I think like, you know, the coolest part about this channel is it's you know, for the most part, it's people that like it's not random people. Like I recognize most of the names. Like most of the names I've seen a bunch of times or keep coming back, and we keep having conversations. And like I might not know you in person, but like I have a built up relationship with like whatever archetypal image I have in my head. Bro, you want to slap my ball now? That's crazy. No, dude, there was like my aunt has this friend, and she was like, "Can I feel your head?" I'm like, "What the like?" I was like, "Whatever," and I was like, it was the weirdest experience I've ever had. Like a middle aged woman feeling my head, and she was like, "Oh, it feels so cool." I was like, "What the?" It's just so weird. I feel like I have to earn my stripes, so I won't stop learning. I mean, it's just most of it is just like receptibility, like how interested are you in learning? If you're interested in learning, you'll learn. You know what I mean? Like there's not really an easy path to I was about to say enlightenment. Enlightenment is not the right word. There's not really an easy path to knowledge. Like there's not really an easy path to like actually applicable knowledge. Like for the longest time, it's gonna feel like the stuff you're learning doesn't help you. For the longest time, it's gonna feel like the things that you're studying doesn't do anything for you. But like it's when everything starts to click, and your mind starts to start changing the way it processes information and thinks and interprets and applies it. That's when the knowledge has actually affected you. That's when the knowledge is actually internalized, and now it becomes something that is a benefit to you instead of just a waste of your time. No, it's fine. It's dude, it's a good like I like the change of pace, and it's like the thing is, I've been called Mr. Clean 100 fucking times. If you come up with an original ball joke, I'm going to laugh. That's the thing about me. Like, if it's funny, it's funny. If it's not funny, it's not funny. Like it's the I appreciate people making fun of me, because like it's not good to take yourself too serious. The moment you start taking yourself too serious is the moment that you just become boring. The moment you become boring is the moment like I should just throw in the towel. I should just give up. I should just stop trying. You know what I mean? Like if you take yourself so serious that people can't make jokes about you, that people can't laugh at you, then like what's the point of it? Like it's like even comedians. Like there's an entire genre on YouTube of people just making fun of comedians that can't take a joke. And it's like, how ironic is that? That like you're a comedian, you get paid to make people laugh, but you can't even laugh at yourself. Like, I like your confidence. I love it. Yeah. Thank you so much. People be getting depressed as soon as they get serious. I mean, that's like Kim Woo's entire worldview. Like, you need to imagine Sisyphus smiling as the rock rolls down the hill. Like, you need to find joy in the little things, because you're not going to find joy in the monotony. You're not going to find joy in, you know, the things that you have to do day after day after day, like the rat race that you just have to keep up with the Joneses and do all these things. But It's finding the little moments that you can experience every once in a while that really make things worthwhile. Like, think of the time that you spent with loved ones. Think of the time where you just were up late with your friends, just bullshitting, drinking a beer, or watching a movie, or like there's always the little moments that make everything worth everything. You know what I mean? It's really finding that and embracing that. I think I'm gonna go though, because I got some stuff I gotta do before my jiu-jitsu class. So thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thank you guys for spending time with me. It's really cool to be back. It's been weird. I haven't really had time to like stream. And it's not that I haven't had time. Like I've definitely had like free time. It's just like I've been so burnt out, and it's nice to be back. It's nice to have fun doing this. Like it wasn't that I wasn't having fun. It was making it so that my days were just like exhausting, and I didn't feel like I had enough time to like unwind and relax. But I feel like I've fixed my schedule a little bit more. I feel like I can at least work in time for like these types of streams where it's not as difficult to set up. I can end it the second I want. I don't have to do it all day, but I might stream again later. It just depends on the timing. But yeah, you have to go now. Your bestie wants to hang out. Yeah, I mean, if your bestie went through a breakup, I understand it. Otherwise, I would say you're not allowed to leave. I hope that works out though. I'll see you, Kenny. Oh, Kenny, I gotta give you a mod, by the way. I keep forgetting. If you've been here for a while and I haven't given you a mod, just ask me or remind me. Like if I've talked to you a bunch of times. If you're here for the first time, I'm not giving you a mod. Like that's not how it works. But if you're someone that constantly comes, just remind me, because I will give it to you if I recognize your name. But with that said, love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. Peace out. I will catch